Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Throwdown for the week of February 7th, 2021. I'm Caleb Black. This is Luke the Big Dog Williams, our in-studio producer, the mighty Max Fury, and it is time for the pay-per-view post-show review.
Yeah, it is.
This year's Royal Rumble. Luke, you beat me. You son bitch.
I not only beat you,
You took the whole night.
I did the queen sweep. You see this?
You got all six calls correctly.
That's a crown. King of the Ring is still, or Royal Rumble is still my pay-per-view.
We're going to go back here, overlook what the finishes were and who we all predicted, blah, blah, blah. For the Sasha Banks-Carmella match, we all predicted Sasha Banks. She won.
No shocker there.
For the Asuka Flair-Baszler-Jax match, you predicted Baszler and Jax. Everyone else with Asuka Flair. You got that one right. For the McIntyre-Goldberg match, we all predicted McIntyre, of course. We all predicted...
Before you go any further on that match,
yeah,
something had to be wrong with Goldberg.
Yes.
Now, we didn't go into this match thinking...
it was going to be a 5-star classic.
No, but I went in thinking at least it was going to be something more than what it was.
Yeah. You could tell very visibly Goldberg was walking with a limp, favoring it. Even on the way out, I imagine something muscular or maybe just his hip was out of whack.
Yeah.
But he was definitely not... You could even see, too, when he got McIntyre for the jackhammer, when he went to do the turn, he favored over to one side, which is why it looked so clunky. So really, Goldberg performing at that level, even then, with an injury, is still really impressive.
I think the best part of the whole match was after the pinfall with Goldberg telling Drew that he was blown up.
And McIntyre just starting to laugh at him. I don't know if anybody else caught that, but when Goldberg was hunched over, he goes, "Fuck, I'm blown up." And McIntyre just started laughing. It was great. Which, I think McIntyre then was like, "We're out here for 5 minutes."
Right.
Try doing this every single day.
I could have done this for 40 more minutes and it still would have been all right.
But yes, we all predicted McIntyre would win. We all predicted Reigns and Owens would win. I'm sorry, we all predicted Reigns would win against Owens.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Okay, may I for just a second? All you AEW fans, and there are a lot of you, and I am one on occasion, who want to talk about all the spots they ripped off from the Stadium Stampede match. No, they did those spots correctly. That's what they did.
Also, if I may interject.
You may.
Everyone talks about the golf cart. And Kevin Owens. First off, Kevin Owens took a way worse golf cart shot. Well, actually, Roman Reigns
got the worst of all of it, yeah.
But here's the deal. AEW didn't do that first.
Nope.
Kane, Raven, and the Big Show did that at WrestleMania 17 in their hardcore match.
Yep.
Therefore, all you AEW fans are like, you're ripping us off. Y'all ripped off Kane, Raven, and the Big Show.
It's worth mentioning
from 2001.
People have been getting hit with cars and wrestling angles since the 70s.
Yeah, Stone Cold. Rikishi did it for The Rock.
Piper. Come on, man.
Yeah, stop.
They didn't rip it off. They just did it the right way. Also, Kevin Owens busting through that glass and the glass hitting Roman Reigns square in the fucking mouth.
I'm surprised Roman Reigns could even have the ability to him to stop the golf cart after being hit in the face with that glass.
And then we have to talk about the finish.
Well, before we get to the finish, I want to talk about the Swanton bomb backstage.
Oh, yeah.
From the forklift. Was a thing of beauty.
Yeah.
It really was. Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns cut probably one of the best last man standing matches that I've seen in a while.
That we've seen this year, and considering there were 30 of them.
Yeah.
Like,
just since January.
I absolutely hated
this season.
The ending.
No, I'm serious. Just since January.
The way they ended that, though, I thought was...
The ending was fucked up.
Well, here's the deal. If you're going to use handcuffs, use trick cuffs. Don't use real cuffs. Well, we don't need to know that they're not real.
Here's the thing. So every handcuff key is standard. Every single one. That's why they're made that way specifically. That way if one cop arrests you, another cop can let you go or whatever it is. What they did, I know what they did, and I don't even know if they know what they did. When you're using the handcuffs that way, and I have some experience with handcuffs, it's fair. It's fair. So what he did was when they hooked into the inside, they had the keyhole turned the other way. Mm-hmm. And it was the same thing when they hooked it to his hand. Instead of it being to where Heyman could have just gone in, he had to go around it. But he had the bars that were pulling his arm that way. So that's why it took Heyman so long to get a hold of it. Was
not only that, but I think
when
it was around the wrist, not only do I think it was backwards, like you were saying.
It was also caught on that glove.
It could have been caught on the glove that they did because, he has that big bulky glove. And if you were to close that with the fabric inside of it, you're going to have a bad time. If you French fry instead of pizza, you're going to have a bad time.
I did love Roman Reigns chucking the referee into the monitor. When the referee was doing the count. Heyman, whoever it was. No,
yeah, you mean with the big pillow on the thing?
Yeah, Raven just did fucking bam. That was great.
I called out. I was like, oh my God,
I don't know if anybody else noticed this, but the second referee that came in that started counting that just stopped at 5 because they were having trouble with the fuck.
That's because just off camera, him and Kevin Owens had a picnic. Sit on the ground over there.
And then, so they finally get the cuffs off him, and then it just goes into the guillotine. Yeah. Like, why not have him hit the guillotine while he's in the handcuffs? He only used the one hand.
Yeah, because honestly, if he would have put the guillotine on him, he would have been up off the ground.
Yeah.
Here's the deal that bothered me, first off, since we're on the subject. Roman Reigns, for the first 10 count, when he's hooked in there, as Paul Heyman come out, squatted.
Yeah.
He got up to his feet, therefore breaking the count.
Yep.
Why didn't he do that the whole time they were having trouble with getting the key out?
I don't know.
He would have been up off the ground. The referee wouldn't have had to have counted.
Yeah.
And another thing, Kevin Owens must have took like a 20-minute power nap.
Yeah, he sold that nut shot for like a solid 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
He could have at least had Paul Heyman go over and kick him.
Well, yeah, I mean, he could have come back at Roman still selling the nuts, and Roman nutted him again. Like, there could have been, you know what I mean?
Also,
something.
Paul Heyman could have punched out the second referee.
And then we talked about, too, like, when you're fucking with the key, why didn't Paul Heyman just go get a pair of bolt cutters? There had to be something in a toolbox somewhere that you could have just got the chain off.
Once again, hey, Vince McMahon.
Telling me that Roman Reigns couldn't have broken that chain?
Those chains,
as long as it was and everything,
the handcuff chains are really they're designed specifically.
But why use real cuffs? There's no fans.
Yeah, I know.
This brings us back to that. They should have been real cuffs. So he should have.
Right, it should have been just him pulling it off.
If he would have just busted that chain,
yeah,
that would have been awesome.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen Cena do it. We've seen everyone.
Big Show.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Yeah. Yeah.
We have to have realism, pal.
True, though, but true, though, that kind of would have made Roman Reigns look like a babyface.
Yes and no.
But it would have demonstrated just how really legitimately strong he is. Yeah, that's a babyface.
He could have went to
That's a babyface spot, 100%.
Well, he could have went to pulling on it and had Paul Heyman reach around him and pull too and then snap the chain. Then it wouldn't have been a babyface spot. Something that other than him just fumbling with that fucking key for 10 minutes. The match was great, ending sucks.
Yeah. It was a 10 out of 10 up to the ending, and then it was like
8. I give it an 8.
Yeah.
I think the match was good enough on its own. I would give it an 8.
But I don't know why they ended with the guillotine. Like, I get it, but you would think
because it was him choking. The only thing he could do was choke Kevin Owens out to stop him.
I guess.
I mean, it makes sense. It's kind of like the Batman Superman gimmick. You know what I mean?
So we got Reigns winning that one.
Yep.
Which means you're a point ahead overall. We go to the Royal Rumble matches. We talk about the women's wrestling match. The women's Royal Rumble match first.
Epic.
Max, you predicted winners were Alexa Bliss, Tamina, Charlotte Flair, and the number 27. And I forgot to write down who came out at our number picks.
You have the numbers on there, don't you? Somewhere.
Yeah, but I've got the numbers down, but I forgot to write down where they came out.
Gotcha.
I think Alexa Bliss was 27. Because we talked about the fact that both of his numbers... He got both of his number picks right.
Yeah.
Luke, you predicted Belair, Bliss, or Becky. I predicted Bayley, Bianca, or Charlotte. Belair won.
Yep.
So that keeps you in the lead while we tied for a point. But
I would also like to point out the big spots of the Women's Royal Rumble. Victoria, Tori Wilson.
Yep.
And who was the third surprise?
Oh, not Michelle McCool. The woman, the JBL woman with the thing on her face.
Jillian Hall,
yeah.
Those were your three surprises for the women's.
I would like to also point out that right before Tori Wilson came out, I was like, this is going to be a Legends pick. Tori Wilson comes to the ring.
Yep.
Then we go to the men's Royal Rumble. By God. Max, your picks for Randy Orton, Edge, Big E, and the number 27. And I believe Big E was the number 27 there as well. Something like that.
No, your pick for the men's was... the number 27 was...
Somebody got the number picked that night. I don't remember who it was. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Either way, your picks were Randy Orton, Edge, and Big E. Luke, yours were Edge, Big E, and Goldberg. Mine were Edge, Bryan, and Roman. Edge won.
Now, before we get into this, I would like you to go back and watch the point preview video because I stated, and I quote...
Sheamus was 27.
Yes.
Yeah.
I stated, and I quote, Edge and Randy Orton would start the match, and Edge and Randy Orton would finish the match, and it's on video. First time this year... this year, I'm starting over again.
And then Randy Orton got cheated again.
I would also like to point out that I predicted Christian's return, but right before he came out, to which Luke and I
best moment of the whole night. Best moment of the whole night.
The only thing about it is like when Randy Orton hit the DDT, and like I kept saying it's a work, but then every single time they went back to him on camera, the commentators were like, well, remember, Randy Orton's not been eliminated. We know. Remember, Randy Orton's not been eliminated. We know.
Yeah.
Randy Orton's, we know he's coming back. Like, stop yelling at us about it.
The fucked up part is, until they got to about the last 6.
Yeah.
And then they were like, we only have 6 men left in this.
Right.
And I chuckled out loud and went, yeah, but Randy Orton hasn't been eliminated yet.
Right.
And then everybody laughed.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, Orton comes back out at the finish. We get the finish that we knew we were going to get. Only disappointment I had is that the finish didn't take place with the Fiend like I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
But surprise entrance.
Hurricane.
Yes, which was my number pick.
Yeah. Hurricane, Christian.
Who did the double goozle gimmick?
Yeah. Great.
Hurricane, Christian.
Damian Priest.
No, I think we all kind of knew Damian Priest.
Yeah, but he was the call up.
We did mention too that Gargano and
Carlito.
Yeah, Carlito.
How the fuck did we forget Carlito?
Yeah.
Gargano and Austin Theory had declared on NXT for the Rumble. They ended up not being in it.
Yeah. Which I read the reasoning behind them not being in it
was probably to make room for Carlito and Christian.
No, the reason being is they don't want to integrate the NXT talent with the Raw and SmackDown talent due to the COVID restrictions.
That's fair.
Because not too long ago, NXT had that breakout down at the thing, and they just didn't want to risk getting someone sick there and taking it back to the Performance Center. That makes sense.
So, with that being said, Luke now leads the contest 14-13 because I lost that stupid bet that I made. That's fine, though, because we got 2 more pay-per-views before WrestleMania, and we've got WrestleMania itself.
Yes.
So, Edge is the current number 1 contender. The suspicion is that he's going to declare for Roman Reigns.
He's going to wrestle Roman. If he doesn't wrestle Roman Reigns, it's a mistake.
I agree.
Even though him and Finn Balor would be pretty badass.
Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks, maybe.
That's where
the
I'd
pick
go
that
with.
I would go with. We'll see. They could swerve us and give us Asuka.
The thing with Asuka is I don't really see anyone wrestling Asuka. I think what's going to happen at one of these next pay-per-views is Lacey Evans is going to win the heavyweight championship, and it's going to be her and Charlotte Flair for the title at WrestleMania.
I could see that.
That's where I see that going. As far as the women's tag team titles, I think Lana and Naomi, the pairing that they've done, they beat the champions on Monday Night Raw this past week. Or beat to wrestle the champions, in a triple threat match that had Asuka and Charlotte, as well as the Muscle Friends, or whatever they're called, and Lana and Naomi go out. The only way for the payoff of everything that's happened to Lana is to have her beat Nia Jax at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
It's the only payoff.
Either that or, like, Lana and Jillian Hall. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Billie Kay and Jillian Hall.
She is the hottest thing to slice bread.
She is the hottest thing.
At least that's
All right, guys. Well, that is our Royal Rumble post-show pay-per-view review.
14.
Leave us your comments down below. Let us know what you think about the Royal Rumble, the surprise entrance, the winners, where you think Edge is going to go. You know what to do. Leave us a comment down below. After you like and subscribe, send us an email at prowrestling.throwdown@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/prowrestling_throwdown. Follow us on Twitter at prowrestlingtd. Stay tuned. We got more vidges coming your way.